What it do, what it do, what it do on a Wednesday night, a frigid Wednesday night. I know some of you all were spoiled yesterday. You thought it was, but this is still Wisconsin. Welcome to the show. It is Outlaw Radio, reality radio. A very interesting perspective tonight that I would like to discuss, and I would hope that you'd like to discuss it with me. My name is Kevin Barnes. I am the host of Outlaw Radio, the militant with a microphone, the mouthpiece, the movement, aka the Negro Whisperer, also known in some circles as the world-class smartass. And you'll figure out why that is as we go along. But I am not alone. My brother, Mr. Carter, welcome to the show. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
Peace, family. I'm doing well. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture, teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor. Hey, mama! There go the Seymour's man! Brings you House of Vitality. Y'all make sure y'all get down there. It's cold, man. We got this elderberry when this weather changing like this, up and down, up and down, up and down. Your immune system is weak. You need to come down here, get something, juice up, power up so you don't get sick. Holler at the kids, y'all.
Get with that, brother. He provides a very important service to our community when we start to talk about health and wellness. And the name of his joint is House of Vitality.
Vitality.
Look up the word vitality and see what that means, right?
Yeah.
We party with a purpose on here. We do have a chat room. The chat room pops. Jeff Crape is already in the chat room. He says, let me put this up here. He says,
what up, Jeff?
That detox got me feeling great. Awesome product. Jeff, I have your hoodies. They are complete. They are packaged. I just got to put them in the mail. So you'll be receiving those fairly soon. And like I said, man, support Kamar. Get with him for the House of Vitality. I'm getting my apple juice tomorrow. So I'll be able to let y'all know on Monday how delicious it was. And if you are interested in apparel, we do have pullover hoodies, which we refer to as the classics. We also have the zip up joints, and we do t-shirts as well. So support the movement, man. Support the movement. Mondays, Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time until whenever we cut the machine off. There is also a number attached to the show, I should say. And that is 262-202-5131. Once again, that's 262-202-5131. Hit that Cash App. And another thing is check out my sponsor, because this show is brought to you by EPU Personal Defense. That's why I have it up on the screen. EPUSDS.com. EPUSDS.com. Holler at the homie Fletch. And holler at Eagle Eye Security and Eddie Silas and Prolific Firearms. Just people who we rock with in the community who do big things. Check out the Call to Action podcast with Ticey and Samantha. Oh, man. It's so many people, right? Like
we deep, man. We a whole movement.
Yes, sir. Check out check out the Talk and Sip podcast with Sean Moore and Top Dog and the whole cut.
Conversations with Francois.
The juice lady, right? The juice lady, right?
Well, we deep, man. We deep in the community.
His arms is flowing, man. Kamar, I decided to talk about today, and we'll talk about some current events, right? Because we always do. There's always a lot of stuff going on in Black America, and that's what we do on Outlaw Radio. But I just kind of felt like I'm always talking about this Black media movement, this new Black media. And then I start to think about what makes it unique and what makes it valid. And the validity of it comes from the fact that it's mostly based on reality, right? And so it comes straight from the people. So it's not watered down. It's not filtered. A lot of times it may be contrived. It may be marketed or directed at certain people. But the what makes it compelling is the validity of it. And so when I say reality radio, that's what we represent. Now, what I'm learning about this game is that's not necessarily what the mainstream media wants. That's not what most terrestrial radio stations want, and especially when you start talking about black people and black radio and black news, right? The truth, I was going to call the show Truth Hurts, because the truth can be uncomfortable. And we talk about our versions of truth, and we talk about all kinds of stuff on here all the time. But I'm when I'm speaking of the status of our community, the status of our people, it can be kind of uncomfortable for some, right? And when you think about the way America works, corporations and conglomerates run everything. So they have a perspective that they want the people to have so that they will be better consumers. I'll expand on that a little bit more, but I'm learning that just in the fact that we are nonpartisan and that we say we're not Democrat or Republican, a lot of mainstream outlets won't rock with us because of that.
Right.
I'm
We are
learning
an anomaly.
it's right. And so how dare people of color speak against this two-party system?
We're against the norm.
It is.
And
And a lot of people, this is why we don't get invited to a lot of places, my brother.
yeah.
It's why I'm
but you know what? You know what, Kev? At some point, they're gonna have to come holler. We ain't gotta go, they gonna have to come holler, right?
Well, it's Kamar, this is something that I've noticed about Milwaukee. Now, let me get Rail is with us. I want to Rail, welcome to the show. How you doing, my brother?
Peace. I'm good, man. I'm happy to be here. How y'all doing this evening?
That's what's up, man. We're doing
good. All right.
Like I always say, Kamar's doing really well. Everybody else, we just, we all right.
Hey, better come on in.
Brother Kamar's doing really well. I see y'all in the chat room, man. Milltown Mikey Davis, what up, folks? I see you, my brother. I see you. That's family right there.
Hey, Kev, you know what else make like our media will make it so authentic is that, when you look across the board, it's us telling our story. You know what I mean? Like with all the different outlets, the different podcast outlets, and you know what I mean? And of course, the mainstream media, they ain't gonna want to rock with us because we don't have to follow no rules. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm talking about all black podcasts because like everybody is basically like they're independent in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
And this
when
is
you on social media like YouTube and all that, you can say what you want to say, whereas they can't. So when they come to our channel and they were listening to our podcast, they hearing a story that's authentic from us, from what we see. It's like frontline news. You know what I'm saying?
And it's part of the reason why, if you want to turn a profit with this, it becomes kind of complicated. This is where I'm headed. Jason Vidilli in the chat room. What up, cuz? Another one of my family's huge, y'all. Y'all just don't understand. He said, MOB, mind on business, big cuz, stay solid. Thank you, cuz. I do my best, man. Trying to keep the ship steady. Ewok, he said Ewok is great too, right? So he's with Kumar. He's really well.
You better come on in, man. You better come on in.
Jesse Parrish, aka Shay and Kruma. I see you, my brother, out there in Denver. He says, shout out from Frontline Black News and the Revolutionary Agenda and Shabaka's Experience Enhanced. You know what? You got something. You inboxed me some information about a summit, Jesse. I gotta check it out. I gotta check it out. I didn't really get into it, Jesse. So I'm gonna see if I can participate and bring Outlaw Radio over there. And if either one of y'all want to come with me, just let me know. We can hook it up, as they say. Well, Kamar, so I want to, like, in regards to what you said, yeah, there's a lot of reality. There is a lot of diversity in our messages because we are a diverse group of people. Like within our own race, there's many different variations of black people, right?
Right.
But more often than not, you're not going to make a profit. You're not going to become big, right? And here, like, so nationally, I see people support podcasts and content creators regionally. The people from California rock with the content creators in California. The people in the South, especially Texas, they rock with their content creators. And a lot of times those people are doing just as much business as the terrestrial radio stations there. Out east is huge. We talk about New York. Come on, like, but here in the Midwest, there's no I want to say no because somebody out there is doing a platform. They're gonna say he don't know what he talking about. In particular, in Milwaukee, nobody's caught fire yet and really set this city in the direction it should be going in terms of what we do, because the terrestrial radio here, really, for all intents and purposes, doesn't speak the truth to the community.
Right.
It's one-sided. It's bought and paid for. It is convoluted. It's contrived. It's watered down, and it's really a slap in the face to people in Milwaukee who are of any sort of intelligence, because I feel like people in Milwaukee are ready for the truth, raw and uncut, right? Because this is how we communicate amongst ourselves. So I just don't see an outlet right now in this city that's giving a platform to the real reality of what's going on in our community. So what we got to figure out a way to do is to make this a business, to make the truth and information. We got to make, we have to approach that from a business perspective. Yes, for a creator, it's extremely emotional. It's an investment. It's an emotional investment when you create and you make a platform. When you say, we're going to talk about this, or I want to present this in this way. And for a lot of us, it's very personal. But there are some people who don't necessarily do this on the microphone, who have businesses, who have influence, that could help us expand our reach. And I'm talking to all those people right now. If you're out there listening, there's a way that we can get together. I want this to be a picture of solidarity. There's a way that we can come together and, like I say, further write our own narratives, right? Like, and make sure that we're empowered. We need to be taken care of. We need to be taking care of each other. So when I say reality radio, I'm saying just that. And I want to tell the bare truth tonight about the state of our city and what's going on in Milwaukee, right? I want to talk about that. Let me catch the chat room. He said, yes, this is Shay. He says, yes, me and Shabaka and Lady Che would be pleased to accompany you. Well, I thought y'all had a summit. So I was saying we could come and rock with y'all. We'll get it straightened out, Shay. We'll get it straightened out. I was skipping through. I was skipping through, and I didn't really see it. He said, this is cuz he said, lead the way, man. And if there is no out, find a way to create one or build a team that can make it happen. It's funny that you say that, cousin, because I've been in conversation. Like Kamara and myself have spoken a lot about the fact that we actually have right now what could be a powerful consortium of individuals. And then I talk to Sean Moore, and he tells me all the time about this consortium of saying, Kevin, let's get together and let's all pool our resources and do what we need to do for our community, for our people.
We like Channel 6 News.
There's a lot of depth to it, Kamar.
We like Channel 6 News. You know what I'm saying? We got anchors and sportscasters and all kind of shit all over the city.
Yeah. And there's more people here that should be heard.
That's
and,
right.
and when we talk about the black media, okay, so here's one of those realistic facts. I'm sorry. We talk about the black media, we radio wise, we say 98.3, but they're not owned by anybody of color. This is iHeartRadio. That is a conglomerate. If we talk about 98.3, not as big a conglomerate, but a media corporation as well, not owned by people of color. I'm not knocking these stations because they employ people of color. So anytime a black man gets a job, it's all nifty. You have the truth, not owned by black people, but the truth has a lot of freedom. What Tory Lowe and Liz Brown do over there, it's raw. It's in your face. It's it's pushing the line, right? It's not pedestrian. WNOV is black owned, and there's a lot of conversations about who's on there and what the output is. But that is a potential powerhouse sitting right in our community, right? Like a station that could really move the masses in that area. You know, the media is powerful, like, especially for America. We're all on the tit, right? How cold is it? I don't know. Check out the news. You know, what happened down on 45th and North? I don't know. Turn on the news, right? Like we are all, what was the score of the game? To turn on the news. Now what we do is we jump on social media to see if you get a lot of news off social media. right?
Yeah.
So people are turning that on as opposed to now waiting till 10 o'clock to watch the news. I'm just saying that is the reality of the black media in Milwaukee. So that means that it is controlled and contrived by larger organizations because we have a Republican Party, we have a Democratic Party, we have a union, we have individuals who have their claws in what we call special interests and lobbying and paying off. See, when you got enough money, you can manipulate messages. Hey, I spent a couple, $1,000 over here for you to push this message for me. Sometimes it's not productive to us. It's their narrative. We have to get in a position where we're creating our own money so we don't have to compromise. So we can say, hey, no, man, we're going to build a platform where the truth is expressed, where the real of the real is expressed. If we got a problem with gun violence in our city, let's talk about the nitty gritty bones of it. I don't want to hear about fake anti-violence initiatives. I don't want to put a flower on some politician who is supposedly going to bring me relief that never will. I seen where our police chief, Brother Jeffrey Norman, I believe his name is Jeffrey, he was in Washington, and he was so happy he got to sit next to Biden. And he was saying that, man, I was talking to the president, and he was asking the president for more support for violence in Milwaukee. And I was thinking, you go all the way to Washington and talk to the president. I don't know if he's spoken with our mayor, but I haven't seen an article about that. Right? I see them standing together when some people get murdered. They say we're going to do something, but we want the community. We want the community to take charge. Well, I think the community should take charge and get new leaders. How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like that? That's how you want us to get involved? Let's do it. Right? Because it's just it's no change. It's no change in our city. We can harp. I see, like I said, I'm summited out. I'm protested out. I'm demonstrationed out. I don't want to go to have a meeting about having another meeting because we never get change from that. Go ahead, Kamar.
I was gonna say straight up, that shit ain't been working.
Nothing has
Trying to
worked.
do something. You know what I mean? We got to get smart now. Use our intellect. I think our emotions make us march. Intellect make us react.
Well, even though you say that, but I mean, I'm not against people marching when something happens to create
I ain't
awareness.
against it. I ain't against it, but you know what I mean? We have to have some thinkers. We have to have some intellectuals that's gonna think and figure out how to fix some shit or how to get past it too.
Right. So I'm saying, no, that's cool. Go out and march. But like you say, there should be a group of people who say, after this march, what are we gonna do? Like, because there has to be something.
Yeah, or even during this march, we can start doing this.
So they say activism without activity is a useless pursuit, is a fruitless pursuit. Ewok on the phone early. What's popping, Ewok? How you doing?
Good evening, gentlemen.
What's going on, man?
Do you motherfuckers not see what the fuck is happening right before your very eyes? Like Tupac said, you will never visualize right before your very eyes. This is what's happening, man. This motherfucker, Donald Trump, got the Supreme Court to give him some more time. Look, what that need more time for? Who needs more time? Justice or Donald Trump? You know what I'm saying? They're giving him more time so he can drag this shit out and let these motherfucking cotton picking ass redneck ass motherfuckers elect his ass again. Watch and see what happens. This shit is dragged by faith, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What's real is what's real, man. All we can do is do what we can do. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers, Supreme Court, Uncle Clarence Thomas, motherfucker type motherfuckers, all of them in on the same. They all in on it. They all in on it. They allowing this man. They got 91 indictments. 91 indictments. Still run for president. You know why you cut out a cancer? You get to the root of the motherfucking problem, and these motherfuckers are intentionally allowing this motherfucker to just sit here and float along right before our very eyes. So sometimes you got to come to realistics, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to have some rationale for yourself. see what the fuck they doing right in front of your eyes. All right, I'm done with my rant.
He's done with his rant. He said, that means he'll be calling back. By the way,
Well, was it a good rant or not? Was it a good rant or not though?
it was an Ewok rant. It was one of these you right. It's always
You got that
welcome.
right. That's what I do.
It's always welcomed on the show. Trust and believe. It's always welcome.
But yeah, now the basis of the question is: do you realize what they are intentionally doing? Simple as that. I could have just said that and been done.
Yeah, but and so that's what I'm saying. Reality radio, where we talk about what's really happening. So I'm with you on that. Like to look at what
that's the main point. That's the main point.
To look at how Trump is being positioned right now to get back into the White House and how he's being assisted. It's egregious. It's once again, like you said, it's right in our face. Right, like
they doing it right in our fucking face,
right in our
man.
face, right? And they're not even playing with you. They're not even playing games with you about it. Like they're just doing it.
This motherfucker on phone calls talk about some. All I need is 12,800 votes. They got him on tape saying this shit. Case closed. Case, that's it. You guilty. What the fuck? Where's the justice?
It's a lot of questions, man. As they say, it's a lot to unpack, right? And I don't think we have the conversations enough. I don't.
That's not a lot to unpack. You don't have to unpack
when
what
it
the
comes
fuck
to
is right before your eyes.
When it comes to with Trump, it's because there's obviously some powerful attorneys here, and they're exploiting legal loopholes. So if you don't really speak the law, like as an expert, you can't totally explain it. It's easy to say, "Oh, this is some bullshit." But obviously, somebody's
a law is
fighting
written
for
by
him.
a man. What's real is what's real, Kev. We have to start. Fuck a law. Who cares about what hunky wrote a law? What's real
I tell
is
you
what's
what,
real. What's good for the truth is good for the gander.
Ernest, you better understand the law if you're going to talk about what Trump is doing. He's doing a lot of legal maneuvering. So if you want to say fuck a law, then you don't want to talk about what he's doing because he's using his attorneys to the fullest. That's how he's able to do it. And you got to have enough money to do it. I mean,
but we have to be wise enough to understand how it works. That's all. You know what? I don't want to get into smart and I'm smart conversation.
If you say
we have to do is realize what they are actually doing. Let's pay attention to what they're doing.
Fuck the law then, because you got to get some understanding of it. You can't say fuck the law and then say we got to understand what it means.
We don't write law. We don't write law. We don't write policy, Kel.
You better know what the laws are, especially if you got to challenge this legally. These are legal challenges. This is playing out in the court of law. If you go in there,
we talking about the president of the United States and shit right now. Where let's see how many motherfuckers voted last year. About 200 million motherfuckers voted for president the last time. And Donald Trump bitch ass got 74 million motherfuckers to vote for him. Joe Biden got about 80 something, I believe, if my math is right. The point is, I'm talking about realism. So we have to use the laws. We have to know the laws and shit too. We have to be wise, but we have to still be real though. We have to still have motherfucking will, you know what I'm saying, and the power to speak the truth unto a lie. You know what I'm saying? They allowing this motherfucker. They are giving this motherfucker chances that they don't give people right in front of our face. That's what I want you to recognize. They playing with us in our face.
I want you to recognize that it's a legal issue. They're not giving him anything. He has money. He has attorneys. He's playing the court system. You don't have that kind of money.
Why the fuck did he take the documents to his house like it was homework?
Because he's Donald Trump. Shit. Because he's a whack job. What are you talking about? This dude
that ain't homework. That's motherfucker don't supposed to leave.
This dude got this shit.
They let them get away with everything. Listen to me, Kip. They letting him get away with everything he do. They're letting him get away with everything he do.
Well, he's definitely gotten away with a lot of shit. He's definitely gotten away with it. But this decision to give him time to allow him to get elected, because what that does is keeps that from holding him back. If that's all that's going through the courts, so that's pending. So yeah, he can still run. That gives him a legal right to now run, right? You know, so
I don't want to hear no lawyer talk. I want to hear some realism. We all have to live on this planet. This one man should not have this much fucking power, man. Fuck the law. You sitting here trying to talk legal this and legal that. Nigga, fuck what the law say.
Okay,
nigga, I'm trying to get you to understand they're allowing this one man. No, wait a minute, man.
No,
I'm not
you
done.
wait a minute, Ernest. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. No, it ain't about that. It's not about that. You let me ask you this. Thank you. He hung up. Thank you. What's the deal? You know what I'm saying? If listen, the man is in court. He's in court. He has pending charges, pending felony charges. They charge him with the RICO Act. This is legal. I tell you what you do. Get you a group of black people together and go in the courtroom and be like, fuck the law. Well, how y'all letting him get away with this shit? They gonna be like, if y'all don't get these motherfuckers out of here, you won't have a leg to stand on. Look at in Georgia, what's going on, where all of a sudden they said that the sister was sleeping with the prosecutor. That ain't got nothing to do with the fact that the charges are still there. They made that a sideshow just to distract you. But it's all legal because legally we have to investigate them for wrongdoing. I understand when you say real, like black people kill me with that. We got to keep it real. Keep it real how? If we're going to say fuck the law, how Kamar, explain this to me.
I don't know how you can get past the law. I understand what he's saying.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, are we gonna be human here or are we just gonna be robots? You know what I mean? And the law is the robot. You know what I mean? But then when you talk about morality, the law ain't always got nothing to do with morality.
It has nothing to do with it.
You know what I mean? And he's talking about the morality of it all. So I can understand that too.
But it ain't no morality.
However, we live in a country that's ran by some people that created laws that we have to follow, or you fight their army.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. It's
you
cool.
There's
no court. There's no morality court. And a judge will tell you anyways, this ain't about your feelings. This is about the law when you go in there.
That's exactly what they're going to say.
That's not lawyer talk. That is reality right there. That's what you face when you go into court and they say Kamar Carter versus the state of Wisconsin. They don't say Judge Johnson versus Kamar. Motherfucker, you fighting the state. And what are you fighting? Well, the state has laws that say this, that, and the third.
You fighting that state law.
There you go. Juice lady in the building. What to do, Courtney? How you doing tonight? Uh-oh, you muted. Don't let's laugh at Courtney now. Everybody was
mine
was muted. Remember the other night when mine was muted? It
wasn't muted. It was broke a little bit.
No,
big difference, Tim.
Damn, Courtney.
That's all right, Tim. If that's what you want. But like I said, if you want fair, go to the fairgrounds. Somebody I forgot who, but I was like, damn.
That was Tierman Spencer.
I thought it was Tierman Spencer. Yeah, if you want fair, go to the fairgrounds. I was like, sheesh.
Right. It's hard. I look, what Trump is doing is crazy. It's unprecedented. We haven't seen. You add the madness of the shoes, right? And like people who collect tennis shoes are saying, I'll buy a pair.
Them.
I'll buy a pair just because they're collectibles.
I seen Fat Joe with a pair.
Right. But you're supposed to be about come on, man. It's like people who buy Jocelyn.
He a collector though.
Well, that don't matter. Why? Come on, man. You giving that man $400. Do what you want to do. It's your money.
That might be an investment in his eyes, like that paintings we was talking about the other day and shit.
This is correct. But this is like people who buy Jocelyn Hernandez music. I'm like, how the fuck? What you gonna do with that? Like, please tell me who's buying Jocelyn's music, right? Give it to me like it's my B-Day or some shit like that. I'm like, what? Is this where hip hop is? It's crazy. So welcome to the show. It's Outlaw Radio, reality radio. Black people, we love to throw that word around. What's real?
I think sometimes people who throw that real shit around, they just want motherfuckers to get real ignorant. Like they don't want to hear logic. They just want somebody to kind of pander to their emotions type shit. And we ain't got nowhere in all this time being emotional. You know, and that's the issue. Black people, I mean, we definitely tapped into our emotions, but a lot of us lack the intelligence to navigate and use those emotions to fuel us to productive shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Let me see what my cousin's saying. I know I hear emotion. Listen, you right, man. Where to put this energy is the energy that we possess is like we ain't figured it out yet because we can't capture the anger and the angst that the youth have and try to teach them to
And
redirect.
argue with each other because we angry at some shit that we can't control.
Right. And we all arguing about some shit we can't control. Right? Can't never one of us control it.
Right.
Jason, my cousin Jason says we can't be emotionally reacting. We have to be able to manipulate laws like they do.
See, there
With
go.
the black agenda in mind. There you go, cuz.
Exactly.
Ewok, I got you back on the line. What's popping?
Hey, dig this, man. So a motherfucker like me who say keep it 100 and keep it real, you know what I'm saying? I can only speak for my own self personally. I mean that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want no comparisons and no obtuse observation about what the fuck I say, period. That's it, that's all. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
when I say something,
the show ain't about you though. It's not about
I know
you.
It ain't. Listen, what dig this? When I say something, I'm rationally speaking. I'm rationally trying to understand, you know what I'm saying, from my viewpoint, what I see, from my angle, you know what I'm saying, looking at the world through my rear view. And I'm glad that y'all give me the opportunity to call in and say what I got to say. But you know what I'm saying? I ain't never called in to say no garbage. You know what I'm saying? Period. You know what I'm saying? I'm a realist. I look at shit, you know what I'm saying, inside, outside, on the side of the box. You know what I'm saying? I'm good at that. And I pride myself on that. I know it ain't about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say it's about me. And I ain't even talk that long. You allow people to give motherfucking Oprah Winfrey speeches on your goddamn phone, like your line longer than you give me. Just give me this couple of ticks to verify what I'm talking about.
You hung up on me. What you talking about me giving you anything? You hung up on me. I didn't cut you off. You hung up on me. What you talking about? I gave somebody more time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I did hang up on you because
so
I didn't want to. I was trying to allow you to have your show. That's why I hung up. I was doing that out of respect, whether you know it or not, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's trying to disrespect your show, nigga. I got you. You know what I'm saying? You my guy.
Who said anything about anybody disrespecting the show, Ewok? Who said anything even in that realm? Like,
well, look here, man. We're not going there. This is a personal conversation. It's starting to sound like we gotta have.
Let's not.
I don't want it to go there.
Well,
I don't want it to go there. You know what I'm saying?
Let's not have a personal conversation on the show.
It ain't going there. It ain't
where are we going?
I ain't trying to do that. I'm not trying to do that right now. I'm just trying to say what the fuck I gotta say.
Well, don't hang up and you'll get to say what you want to say. Like, that's not how you do it. Right. That had to come.
Your ass again.
There you go. And you'll call back and complain that they ain't give you no time. So let's keep the cycle going, right?
I didn't do it. I didn't do it that time. I ain't gonna allow you to pleasure to fuck with me. But do this one. We was talking about Donald bitch ass motherfucking orange peel skin ass Trump and shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it seemed like you was going into the other direction and shit. So sometimes a contrast is a good contrast. I understand that. You need contrast or it ain't gonna be no good show. Right. So I got it. But I'm gonna tell you one motherfucking thing. Fuck that orange motherfucker. That motherfucker ain't done no good, no nothing. And they should have been put him in jail. I don't want you.
I'm just merging, y'all. No, I'm just merging. Oh,
I'm like, damn. See this?
Hey, man, you better not have hung up on you.
Right. So what do you get so quiet for then if we merge? What type of merge you got going on? Like,
this what you do when you come late. You come late to start shit. That's what you do. I'm trying to get there. We go. Ewok, I was merging the call. Go ahead.
Yeah, I ain't went nowhere, man. I'm still right here. Just telling the truth right here. That's it. That's all.
Okay, are you done? Because I don't want to cut
you off. What's going on here?
I want to give you enough time.
You ain't got to go there. Hey, I'm gonna listen to you, real air. Come on.
Well, now Dion's on the line. So Dion, what's popping, man?
Oh shit.
How you guys doing? Hey, I'm listening to what the gentleman's saying, and I agree with him.
Right.
But my thing is, this is how I feel. I ain't gonna lie to you. You already know kind of my stance. Like the other day, I seen one of the hosts from NOV in the store, and this is how I feel. If Trump is gonna come, I want to see the democracy of the United States be destroyed. For one, I do personally.
Damn.
But I also look at it like we're gonna be collateral damage if it does happen. But I also look, because I mean, it's bound to happen though. If you believe in the Bible, I hear you guys talk about God and the Bible, and if you look at every great democracy from Rome, Greece, Germany, Egypt, all of them, they have succumbed. So the United States must implode within itself. But I also don't feed off it because I can't believe what, I don't know if it's whatever, but I believe a lot of the things that everyone is saying. I'm not a Donald Trump fan for one, but I don't know what to believe. I don't trust them or I don't trust him. I know the Republicans, Marjorie Taylor Greene, a lot of them, see a lot of things, people we have to understand. This position, these Republicans been playing chess since Reconstruction. You understand what I'm saying? It first got enacted when Reagan was in office, if you could really go back and think about it. What's his name? Mitch McConnell. You understand? See, that you have to go back in history and understand the Daughters of the Confederacy, the Federalists. These things have been enacted since Reconstruction. The Republicans, and not the Republicans, but the white power, the white nationalists, white Christian nationalists, they are trying to get control of the United States because they feel like their rights have been trampled upon. They feel like they're being discriminated against. They feel like it's reverse racism on them. If you ever hear them talk, they be saying this was a white man's country, and they feel like the country has been taken from them, and they want their country back. See, when they did the Civil Rights Act, we the only one that used the Civil Rights Act for us, because the Civil Rights Act was never about a black law; it was about a person's full liberty. The gays used it. The Mexicans used it. Everyone else used it except for black people. So now you have this man that came into power or came into notoriety because this is not Donald Trump's first run for the White House. He ran back in the late 80s and the early 90s. He did a couple runs for the White House. But the thing is, though, as everyone said, this is what they call the backlash of Barack Obama being elected president. See, in 2008, when they had a blue wave and Barack Obama was elected, white folks got scared. Now, I don't know if you noticed, white folks got scared. And that's when they started doing all these gerrymandering, changing these laws, these voter right acts and all of that. You know, it's bigger than what people think. So I don't really, because anytime we sit up there and we talk about voting and equality and this, that, and other, the white man I just found out, and this is not too long ago, voting was never about equality, it was about policy. So us looking at we want to be equal to them or our individual rights is not about that. It's about certain policies. And true enough, the Democrat policy is a little bit better than the Republicans' policy. But all of them is the same, though, because a white man does not want to give up his statue in life for a black man, a brown man, an Indian man, a Jew, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So we could sit up here and look at this situation with Donald Trump and be like, well, if it's not fair. And true enough, we see the fuckery in our face. We know if it was Barack Obama, anyone or a person of color, if Barack Obama would have did half of the stuff Donald Trump did, as they always use that as comparison, he would have been indicted, impeached, and jailed, raped, and all that shit. You understand what I'm saying? So we just have to let this play out. And it's going to be hard to go to them polls because these people came up with all these different do win again. They have set so much shit in place that it's going to be fucked up. So right now, Donald Trump basically is like a distraction. And they move in pieces. You see in Alabama, they talking about if you got an egg in vitro fertilization, some shit like that's a child. I said, these white folks crazy as motherfuckers. I think in Missouri, if you get pregnant by your husband, you can't get a divorce. He could kick you all in your ass. You understand what I'm saying? So these white folks is crazy. So I don't know what we gonna be able to do. You know, I just want to sit back, see shit unfold, and maybe we kill each other up. You know. And then when people are hello.
Damn.
We're listening.
Yeah. Oh, and then anytime, listen, no,
Look,
anytime
you know
when
it's
people,
something when somebody
what?
talks so long that they forget it's supposed to be other people talking. Damn, if they hang up, that mean your ass talking too long.
Yeah, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
He forgot we was here.
Be like,
Right.
Is this thing on?
when people be like, we can't defeat the United States of America. True enough, we can't, but we could tear this motherfucker up. And it just ain't gonna be a black on white thing. It's gonna have to be a coalition of people, because you see what happened when George Floyd died. That shook people up. They don't want that no more. They don't want that type of unity. You understand what I'm saying? Because that type of unity can disrupt things, and it could disrupt capitalism. So I don't know. They might not let Donald Trump get elected because his election is going to disrupt things. But in the process of him running and doing all this weird shit, they putting a lot of pieces in place. So I'm going to hang up and I'm going to listen to you guys. And thank you for allowing me to rant, Kevin. I'll call you when I get close back to Milwaukee.
That's what's up, man. And thank you for calling me Kevin, because most people don't call me Kevin. They call me
right,
Kev
yeah.
or something, right? You know when it's serious when somebody say Kevin. Shout out to Ewok and Dion. If you all want to get in on the conversation, the number is 262-202-5131. Mark Ross is in the chat room. How you doing, my brother? Shout out to you and your podcast. Been able to check some of it out. It's a good look. It's dope. It represents that diversity that I was speaking on of platforms that are in the People's News Network, where whatever your walk of life is, there's something in there for you. And believe me, a lot of this stuff, you know, people would like to dismiss it, but there's a lot of enlightenment. There's a lot of information being passed and exchanged. And that is the ultimate goal. And that's what this black media should be about. Let me see. He said that type of unity can overthrow a government. And you know, and that was Jason Vidilli. Shout out to my cousin.
You know, that's my cousin too, right?
Jason Vidilli is your cousin?
Yeah.
Are you sure we talking about the same Jason?
Just wanted to keep yelling out that he was your cousin. I want to say he was mine too. That's all.
Okay, well, if you feel included, come on in, cuz. Cousin Pete. What's up, Cousin Pete? What's going on, man?
Cousin Pete.
He said it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Shout out to Above the Law, one of my favorite Above the Law songs. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Listen, I think Kamar and Ernest helped me really want to inform you that this is our justice system is not a morality court. You say murder is wrong, right? It's immoral, right? It's the ultimate violation of a person's rights to take their life. But when you go in court, the question is not necessarily whether it was wrong to kill someone. It was about the laws that you violated in doing so. Felon with a firearm, you know, assault with a deadly weapon, you know, first, second, third degree homicide. Was it premeditated? Nobody's, and you might have a judge who say, I feel sorry for the family, and people get emotional, but none of that law is about the mother's grief law or whatever. Like, it's like, yeah, we know your mama here crying, but this ain't about her. This is about this dude breaking laws. And there's what we call due process. Innocent until proven guilty. So I accuse you of a crime. You legally are supposed to have the right to go to be judged by a group of your peers, i.e. a jury, right? That's our law. It's not a whole lot of morality. And obviously, the white men who wrote it weren't really more, they wasn't high on morale either, or morality, because they were slave masters. Right? So we ain't give a shit about morals. It's like, nah, man, we making up some shit for white people.
So white folks are peers as far as being the jury just because they're humans?
Well, no, it's not just supposed to be white folks. When you talk about a jury is supposed to be a jury of your peers, which means it's supposed to be made up of people from your community.
Yeah.
A lot of times you go to court and you look at the jury and say, that ain't my goddamn peers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a flaw, right? This is why we have disproportionate conviction rates.
The motherfuckers don't vote out everybody black that they got to pick from.
Yeah. Right. Have any of you ever done jury duty?
Yeah.
I got put on the waiting list or some shit like that.
Okay.
But nah, thankfully I ain't never had to go in.
I stalled them out, and then I had to do it. And I went and I realized, ironically, at the time I was trying to decide whether I wanted to go to law school or I wanted to pursue my PhD. I got such a grimy look at lawyers during that experience. I decided to just go after my PhD because I was going to take the LSAT and go to law school. But I didn't, because the lawyers, like we saying, there was no morality. I'm looking at the lawyers, and this is about a sister who basically, she got a number of kids by a brother. He's messing around. They have a dip in their relationship. He's messing around with another girl. And he comes to the house. She comes to the house, and he's, what Kamar told me one time, he said, it's double dipping. You broke up with your baby mama, but you still, as my auntie say, touching and agreeing, right? So, but at the same time, you got a whole other chick that's at your house, like you got another girl. So she comes.
Leave that alone, man. Leave it alone.
Well,
man.
hold on. This was the court. This is what the trial was about.
Okay.
She came to the house and caught him with this girl and basically went ham, whooped his ass. He's trying to press charges, and this girl has 3 or 4 of his children, and he wants her to go to jail. He wants her to go to take Cheetah for 6 months. And I'm like, this is all y'all relationship stuff. And you, as a black man, he was showing his scars. She skanked him up pretty good. She wasn't, I don't want to call her a big back, but she wasn't no little girl, right? Like she had some solidity to her, right?
She don't win a few rounds.
Yeah, she was pissed. She went into woman's rage. They showed the whole scene, the pictures, and I'm in this jury, and I'm like, this dude is weak. He's a mog. Right, like you got caught up, and you're gonna send your baby mama to jail, the mother of your children. But what it was the burden of proof. So the prosecutors had to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that she actually did this, because some of the wounds looked old, right? They couldn't necessarily prove that she done it. So me, being the asshole I am and mad at him for being a whole fuck boy, I said to the rest of the jury when we were coming to our decision, it's about the burden of proof. He hasn't proven that she done this to him. Some of them scabs look old as hell. Look like there's some doubt whether or not she did this much damage to him. They said, you know what? You're right. And she got off. She beat it. And I was laughing my ass off at him after the trial when he was in there. I was like, I can't believe it and all this. And I'm looking at her. She happy, like, I didn't want to leave my babies. Because that's what she said. Like, I don't care about going to jail or whatever, but it's about my kids. Like, I could lose my kids behind this. And so dude he was a whole mog. The point is, it was an old lady who was like, dude, you literally look like you was asleep through the whole thing, and then you wake up at the end and just destroy the whole decision. I'm like, I was listening. God damn it. I don't know if you ever sat around a bunch of old people for a long time.
Dude, don't hear this and remember that shit. Like, oh, it was him.
Right. I'm going to get this motherfucker. Hey, Mr. Mayor. Girl beat my ass that day. I think she actually did whoop his ass, though. Because when he got on the stand, he told her, like, she hit me with a pan. She like grabbed like it was an ass whooping. I got caught up, and he took the beat down for the girl because the girl was trying to get up out of there, so he jumped in front of her. So, boom, right upside your head, man.
Right.
But that's jury duty. It wasn't anything moral. There was no morals. We as the jury injected the morality into it by saying, nah, come on, man. Here's a weak ass dude who was manipulating 2 girls. He got caught. One of them you got kids by. She put hands on you, and you want to send her to jail? You want to send her to prison? Come on, man. That's not cool. So that's enough of my little story about that shit. Listen, somebody tell me this. What's up with the Ninja Turtle? I'm not understanding the Ninja Turtle. Can somebody explain this to me?
I feel like it's thing unite Milwaukee. You know, we do things to unite us and bring us closer. So we use
I didn't even think it was about that. I just thought it was like a scavenger hunt. I saw a post. You know what I mean? I saw a post like you know what I mean? Like it was a scavenger hunt and it was a picture of the turtle. So I thought people was finding the turtle. So people was finding the turtle and taking pictures by it and shit. That's what I originally thought. But I don't know what the hell it is. Like, I don't see how it could be uniting anybody, but
it brought us together as a Milwaukee.
I see people having fun with the turtle.
So maybe is that what Courtney? You said it brought us together. Can
we all post, we laughing, we all seeing the turtle, we happy a little bit on Facebook. Look, he's happy.
He came to the House of Vitality and got a cup of tea.
Did you take pictures with the turtle?
I didn't. I wasn't there. I had just left.
I was just
But what's the name? My Miss Venus' son, D. He took a picture with it for me over by the shop.
So is there some place that's selling turtles? Because I know this ain't the same turtle. It's
the same turtle. I think it's two of them.
One had his head knocked off.
Oh, it's all four of them.
Damn.
Yeah, one had a leg missing. That's what I'm saying. It can't be the same turtle.
Yeah, I think they replacing some of them because one had his head missing. I seen it. I was like, damn.
Oh yeah, one of them got signatures on it.
Okay.
So it's more than two.
So there's a group of people who are passing these turtles around. Because my thing is, are they just buying turtles?
Like you could post on there, you trying to get the turtle or something like that, I think.
Oh wow.
And you tag the people, the page or something.
Oh wow.
I think that's how it go. And then they'll leave it there.
Okay. Well, if anybody out there knows the significance of the turtle, let me know. I don't really
But I heard the unity thing too. Like I saw somebody post on there. That turtle ain't bringing no damn unity to nobody. They still killing each other.
Yeah, I'll take you. And they can take a picture with the turtle together and then shoot each other. They definitely will.
Oh wow, over the turtle. Like it's my night to keep it. Right.
Yeah,
y'all niggas coming with me.
Right.
Listen, once again, if I think Milwaukee needs something. When I look at our city,
all that shit.
We're doing a show called Reality Radio. When I'm looking at the city, I'm looking at, you're looking for something. You're looking for a light on the horizon. And I would like for people to tell me what the light is or where the light is. Now, we were excited. I was excited. Kamar was skeptical a couple years back when we got all these black leaders. And I was saying, man, this could potentially be something great, right? And I really felt that way. I really felt like, okay, this is what we've needed. And Kamar was kind of like, Kev, I don't think so. I don't see it. I see the same old same, just with somebody who looked like us there.
Can I explain why?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I said that, and I even said it back then. The reason why is because the people who are in these offices, their track record is horrible already. Like they, you know what I mean? These the same people we've been complaining about.
Okay.
So, like, why do we feel like something finna change now?
Well, when you get a set of all black leadership, a group of black leaders in their high administrative positions, the mayor, the chief of police, the county executive, these are supposed to be big time power brokers. So we always say, even on the show, you have to create a situation where there's people who look like us in these positions. So anytime somebody who looks like, this is why people were so excited about Obama, because he looked like us. We didn't even pay attention to what he was saying. He was telling us, I ain't fucking with y'all. Nobody paid attention, right? He kept off top. He's like, Farrakhan, hell no. I would never, no, distance myself.
Hey, but my thing, it's just I'm just like, your past tell me about you. You know what I mean? If you want me to think different, start doing different.
Okay.
That's why, you know what I mean? That's why I didn't budge. You know what I mean? And then not only that, man, but they still working for somebody.
It's a job. It's a job. Right. And no man is an island, right? Peninsula, maybe. Like
if Obama tell you ain't gonna be no black agenda, they ain't finna push one.
Right. Like, do I have to repeat?
You know what I'm saying?
You heard what Barry said.
They ain't been had one. They ain't been had one. They ain't used one to get where they at, so they ain't finna change now.
There is the encapsulation of the problem with our city right there, Kamar. You solved it and you didn't even know you did.
Oh, Kamar. Woo!
There's no agenda. There is no agenda. Listen, I see a lot of, like I say, I see marching, singing, flower bringing, whatever Biggie said. But I don't see no agenda. You know what? When I was with the Panthers, you can criticize my brother Rick all you want to, but anywhere we went, we had an agenda. We had what our asks was on the. We want this is what we want. I don't see that. What I see is people. I see people of color make noise and then they make friends. Now y'all know what I'm saying, right? You see them out there kicking up dust for a minute, and you notice it kind of slowly dissipates. And you say, "What happened?" He or she got a check.
Oh man, them niggas
They
cool.
gave him a grant. I'm working with him
the
now.
money.
I'm gonna be the bridge between City Hall and the community. No, you ain't. He's gonna be another nigga on the payroll. This he walks in Arizona. He said, "I don't know nothing about that turtle. I thought it was a sex toy or some shit." I was hoping it wasn't. I was hoping it wasn't. I was hoping it wasn't. Leon said, "Did you finally find out about Cam?" I looked into it. You know what? The Cam Newton thing is crazy because this is football and this is testosterone. This is male egos, and Cam was talking his fair share of shit. And I don't know why these individuals felt like, okay, let's whoop his ass, because they didn't do a good job of it. They really got embarrassed. And 4 or 5 of my at our peak, especially if 4 or 5 of us jumped on you, you'd feel it. I wouldn't give a shit how big you was. So they was getting slung around, right? But what we find out about it is here is another situation where, and they showed a bunch. I found a bunch of video of Cam doing these football camps over the years, and young black kids trolling him. Now, if he was Brock Purdy, or if he was even Patrick Mahomes, a little light skinned, you know what I mean? I don't think he had these problems. If he was, I won't say Phil.
Hey, I feel like this.
Tom Brady. Nobody, white kids ain't gonna come to Tom Brady's camp and troll him. But I'm not. What I'm not doing is saying white folks don't behave like this, because I always get on black people about saying that shit. So.
Hey, I feel like, man, them brothers ain't had no business even talking to Cam. He ain't there for them. He there for the kids. Only people he supposed to be talking to is the kids. You know what I mean? Like, they ain't had no business even talking to him. He there to help them. This, you know what I'm saying? Him being there is only beneficial for them kids. Like, why are you even fucking with him? Let him do his thing. Let him do what he came here for.
If you're not talking to him about furthering his access to the kids or empowering what he's doing, say, hey, brother, you know what? We got some stuff because obviously they had a group of kids who were talented. There's footage of Cam saying, if y'all beat my team, I'll pay your boys. They beat his team, right? So if that's the case, what they should have said is, okay, pay the boys, Cam, we good. We just want to show you we coaching over here too. We got some talent. Come on, we could use you to help us, right? You can help us.
Right. And you know, the help probably was finna come. After that, you know what I mean? Because they say Cam is really, he 10 toes down with helping them kids like that. You know what I mean? He got a big track record of that. They talk about how when he go, he there in the huddle with the kids, running plays and telling them what to do and coaching them up from there. And you know what I'm saying? So I feel like maybe the help was gonna come. I'm more on Cam's side with this.
I am too.
I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, first off, he there for the kids. Them grown folks ain't got no business jaw jacking with him. Okay, if they bet, get your money, cool. Who you want? Shake the hand like you would any other motherfucker. But since it's Cam Newton, you know what I mean, I'm finna jack it up.
I would also say a lot of people don't realize how big 6'5", 250 pounds is. Like, that's one of them things where once you run up on him, you realize, shit, it's a big old motherfucker, right? And so it's too late then, though. Now
it was a bunch of them niggas trying to grab
right,
him.
now he ain't got the back of your dreads and he's swinging you around around the park. That's a big dude, man. Like, you got to be careful, man. You can't. Now, if y'all was 20,
this motherfucker ran through linebackers and 300-pound defensive linemen and shit.
He's not a big stiff dude. This dude is one of the most athletic quarterbacks they ever seen in the National Football League. So
superior strength.
He's an X-Man.
Weights this motherfucker done lifted.
He's an X-Man. You a little buddy. Come on, man. You looking bad.
Get out of here.
It was a bad look for them. I got to get him.
That was just disrespectful. You know what I mean? Yeah. This motherfucker, he done excelled on every level of the game. He ain't got no business.
And all you want to do is hate. Like, I'm gonna whoop your ass, Cam. Come on, y'all, let's whoop Cam's ass.
And they went.
Got handled on the news. Is that you on the ground? I had slipped. See, what they didn't show is the part when I was gonna take off on him. I tripped. Yeah, and then he grabbed the back of your head and starts slanging your ass, right? Like we slang information. That's how he was slanging you.
Dang.
Dion said, we fall for anything. That turtle is covered in fentanyl.
God damn it, Dion.
Courtney said it's bringing us together. Dion said that shit got fentanyl on it. Oh my God.
Hi.
You gotta love us. You gotta love us, man.
Oh.
Jeff said, I remember Arthur Jones, and I remember Arthur Jones's story of having some dirt on Mayor Norquist because he was his personal bodyguard. And he became the chief of police. Arthur Jones actually promoted brothers to positions. And then he got sued by white officers who said he overlooked me, and they won. And guess who had to pay all of the cost of all of this? That's right, the good old taxpayer. Shout out to the 414, boy. We pay for everybody's fuck ups. If you live in the 414, boy, let's look at where your money goes, right? They gotta divide it up. Like, okay, Brewers, y'all get a little, Bucks, y'all get a little, MPS, here, y'all get a little, police, here, come over here, get your. They be dividing that shit up. That sound like
and by the way, you can't afford to be here. Get the fuck out.
Right. That sound like a lick, though. That don't sound like a government. That sound like a crew running around hitting jukes and shit. He said, worst law enforcement leadership for the black community ever. Was he? Because I had to say Harold Breyer was. We're gonna talk about a police chief who the what they call him, the Bull Connor of the North. Harold Breyer was in power for 30 some odd years. He left an indelible print on this city, and it'll never be forgotten. This is a white dude who said he wouldn't allow black officers to patrol the South Side because he didn't want them arresting white people. Ain't that a bitch? He said check Cam's highlights. Yeah. You're right, Jeff. Cam's highlights are ridiculous. You watch some of the plays and say, and they decided to jump this dude. It's funny. He said, Jason Vidilli, as Courtney said, our cousin, said, but at the same time, you have to make sure they're for us and start holding them accountable and stand on it and stop supporting everyone that's connected to it. Mainly financially, make them stop using us for things not for us. As far as black leadership in Milwaukee, what black leadership though? What black leadership, right? Because I'm saying that because these political parties, and if people don't understand the role of lobbyists and special interest groups, they pull strings. They find Negroes to do their bidding. So you might think your favorite black leader is all about the people. I will tell you what, go look up their campaign financiers. Go look up who contributed to their political campaign. That'll tell you who's really in charge. And so when we talk about our leaders, and if you're a black leader, a black quote unquote leader in our community, holler at me. I'm willing to have a conversation because I'd like to ask you to your face, what y'all doing? What's changed? What's changed? Has our school system gotten better? Has the violence subsided? Well, they said, I saw this, it was funny. The police chief and the mayor and Ashanti Hamilton. Look, what we're doing is working. Murder's down this year, right? Ignoring the fact that it had consistently broken a record 3 years in a row. And even though it's reduced now, it's still higher than it was in 2019 pre-pandemic. They haven't been able to deal with violence since the pandemic. It's been out of control. So has that gotten better? You put bump outs. Has it gotten safer to drive in Milwaukee? I don't think so. Everywhere I go, I see car accidents. And I'm talking about cars on top of each other, sitting on their lid. As my mama say, it was turned over on his lid. And, cars just locked up, smashed. You see accidents, sometimes you ride by and say, damn, there's no way they could have survived that. The Po Gumbo man was in his trailer in his food truck making gumbo, and somebody come along and wrecked his shit. Bow, and he was in it. Miraculously, he survived. And shout out to him, because what I heard is that, or what I've seen is that the GoFundMe went crazy, and he was trying to get $10,000. And the last I checked, it was up to $32,000. If somebody can validate that for me, I would appreciate it. I want to be on here spreading lies. Kev dude called me and said ain't nobody gave him shit.
Oh no, it was definitely up to 32,000. I seen that. It was. I'm like,
Okay.
oh, he finna get
2 food trucks with gumbo now.
Hell
Gumbo. Mo
so
gumbo.
all types of incredible things going on now.
Get a brick and mortar, my brother. Fuck the.
You
I
know,
don't want to say fuck the food truck. Like, I don't want to say that, but definitely you get and that's just, it's at 32 now. If you can get up to go for 100, as they say, get that hundo.
right?
Jeff Crape says, I only remember him in Justin Fields. Sorry. That's all good. It's all good. There's been, we don't even have to go about, like, if we start naming people, because I don't want to name people specifically, because to put this all on one person would be unfair as well as unfortunate, and I think uninformed as well, because each individual has a certain amount of things that they can do. So, like, you can't put the potholes on certain individuals because that's not the department that they work in or govern. So, it's all about phone calls, though. Like, are you making the phone calls as a leader to say, hey, Bill, hey, man, you might want to get your people over here on, whatever street. It's pretty rough over here. All right, kid, thanks. Right? You know what I'm saying? Jeff Crape says the 27th Street Bridge riot. I know my mom would always talk about the 16th Street Viaduct when Harold Breyer was the police chief and she was marching with Father James Grappy, who incidentally looked like Woody Allen. It's crazy that when I see him, I always say he looked just like Woody Allen. But there was a leader, though. He was a leader. Now, older people who were around, specifically people who were affiliated with the NAACP commandos, I've heard a lot of them say he didn't do shit. We did all the work because we kept him safe. We organized the people. We did this, we did that. I call him a leader because he stepped forward and he put his neck on the line. He actually lost his priesthood behind this. The man ended his life as a bus driver, driving the bus. You wouldn't think somebody who's responsible for open housing, who's responsible for boycotting the police, somebody who's responsible for all of the great things that he did in his city, to end up driving the bus, right? But when they step in and put some of us who look like us but are really operating for them, when they put them into place, then we say, okay, well, we don't got no use for you no more. So get on, as they say. He says Outlaw Radio is Black leadership. Let's make it happen, y'all. Reaching a lot of people. We're not yet. My plan long term, because if you ask me about my plan, and it's changed, because I've always kind of approached Outlaw Radio as just kind of like my baby, right? Like, it's just something that, was put on my brain one time, a long time ago. But right now, what I realize is there's so many connections for us. There's so many connecting points. And I think one thing we all have in common, all the people that I'm connected with, is we all want to be heard, but we don't have a voice. Like we just said, we arguing about some shit we can't change. I want to switch that. I want our conversations to become pivotal. I want them to become, hey, did you hear this last night? Let's get in action. As my son say, let's get in mode. So I'm thinking about how to bring everybody to the table. And Kamar, we'll have a conversation about how you can get your people and my people, and we ain't gonna have a meeting about having another meeting.
Right.
We're gonna have a meeting with an agenda, right? And we're gonna go in there and say, this is what we need to accomplish. No matter how much.
Hey, we already set the date. We just gotta tell us at the time.
And I gotta get everybody, because like I said, it's almost like Outlaw Radio got two sides, right? Like you got the street side, and then you got the Sherman. I don't want to say Sherman Phoenix, but that side. I don't know what, because if I say conscious, Kamar gonna get at me like, Kev, there you go with that bullshit.
Well, it's that, you know what I mean? It just, like, it's a conscious side, the Outlaw Radio. It's a political side, the Outlaw Radio. You know what I mean? It's all types. Yeah, all type of shit go with Outlaw Radio.
Right? It's black men, it's black women, right? It's fathers, it's mothers, it's educators, it's business people, it's entrepreneurs. I started thinking about that the other night. Like, dude, have I been waiting on something that's never gonna come and ignoring something that's already arrived? This is how I think when I'm by myself, y'all. And sometimes I respond to myself. So if you ever pulled up to my house and you say, "Who Kev with?" He out there by himself talking
I
to
do
him.
the same thing, yeah. It's all
Oh,
right.
okay. I thought it
You
was
ain't the only
just
one.
me. I was gonna get myself one of these.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta say it to see what it sound like.
Right. I be, now what was you thinking? Man, yo, dumb ass. Who you calling dumb? It'd be really getting intense, right? Like that.
It be like that
I
sometimes. It
don't
be
do
like,
all
who know
that.
you better than you though? And them conversations it be real deal. I feel you, kid. Don't nobody else do I do.
I done had to snatch myself up. Like, get your hands off me. Get your hands out my pocket. It's funny. Oh man. Jeff said fair, Kev. It's emotion, not fact. We have a hard time separating the two because we all feel the pain of the community. So when we get together, you finally get somewhere to let this shit out. Whew, cats let it out. They blow it out, right? But then after that, there's no follow-up. There's no follow-through. And so it starts to build up until the next time you get an opportunity. And then now you just a person who just gives great presentations. You're not affecting any change. Mariah Johnson, another one of my cousins. She said, family. Hey, Jason Fideli. We're all cousins. Courtney is our cousin too, y'all, just in case y'all ain't know.
I was just finna say that. I'm happy you announced it. You
Right,
think you the only person on this show with cousins. I got cousins too.
Right.
Same ones.
It's Cousin Pete right here. So if y'all see her at the cookout, don't be saying, who the hell is that? Sam Outlaw Radio. All right, cuz, what up? He said Agape family. He said that was deep, cuz. I'm just thinking because there has to be a purpose for I don't believe anything that's valid was put here accidentally. And I really don't believe this platform was given to me for me to fumble the ball or fumble the bag, as they say, especially now when it's so many people who are, I won't say affiliated with us, but acquainted with us, right? Like, because just the power of, like, Courtney, I seen you and your people on WNOV, which you didn't even talk about, right? So I wanted to get you to talk about that. But once again, that people would know that there's a connection to Outlaw Radio from your organization, right? Like, so you just never know who's with us. It's like you almost got to say, watch your mouth. So I don't know if she's still with us or she had to read a bedtime story or something, but we'll talk about that. You know, Courtney be like, hold on, I gotta cut up these beans for my kids. Earl Henning, he said, what it do, beautiful black people love. How you doing, Earl? And this is what I'm saying. Like, but it's gonna take money to do what we need to do. People have to support it. John, you're exactly right. He says we need both sides, yin and yang, gangsters and the conscious community. Absolutely. And once we look at even there's a connection to us with responsible legal firearm ownership. We're looking at a brother like Fletch who's talking about personal self-defense. So now what'll separate us from Black Wall Street is we got guns and we know kung fu, right? So when you come over here thinking it's finna be Rosewood, it ain't gonna be all good. And I didn't know that rhyme before I said it. So y'all better pay attention to how my cadence flow. But yeah, so and it takes diversity. It takes a group of all of us to be, you know, everybody should be able to come to the table and say, and I'm not one of them dudes who quotes The Godfather or who just, oh, remember in The Godfather. But the way it was set up was governing bodies of each region that had different situations and they needed representation. So if you had a problem with one boss, you sat down with all of the bosses and y'all figured it out and said, you'll be okay. As a member of this commission, we're going to make sure we get you some kind of assistance, some sort of attention paid to your issue. We need to do that. Even as Black voters, if we just cornered the market on our votes, and the problem is all of us are not included at this voting table. And when it's this in terms of this political game, we're not represented. The conscious people ain't represented right. The gangsters, the street dudes ain't they're not represented right. It's only what they say is right. So once again, we allow them to pick our leaders. We allow them to tell us, no, he's a good Negro. He's not. He's a nice Negro. He's not. He's user friendly. He's not. That shit has to stop. And I don't think if we gave ourselves as much support as we give everybody else, we would be great. I once again was in Minneapolis over the weekend, and I went to a Vietnamese restaurant. And I don't know if you all are familiar with Vietnamese cuisine. I happen to love pho and banh mi sandwiches and all this kind of stuff. I hope I'm saying it right, because if I'm not, I'll get crucified. But that establishment was full of Vietnamese people. It was Vietnamese people working in there. They were supporting each other, and they was making some money because there was white people in there, and obviously there was black people in there because me, my daughter, and my wife are in there. My point is they support each other. This is a thing. Their food now is a big time commodity because they support it. They didn't wait for the white man to say, hey guys, this is cool. This is what they eat. So they said, if we ain't serving nobody else, we're going to serve our people what we like to eat. That is the major difference between us in this country and everybody else, because everybody else does them. We don't do us. We try to do everybody else as well as us. So it's something to start thinking about. Let me see. He said, Jeff says, way to pronounce it correctly. I hope so. I hope I said it correctly, because I said it wrong and my daughter was like, no, Dad, that's not how you say it. Food was, but like I said, I love pho anyways. If you don't eat pho, but you eat plain ramen noodles, you need a little culture, right? It's just like you gotta step your noodle game up. You can't be walking around talking, I need no damn pho, and you making some ramen at the crib. Stop it.
Pho is an incredible thing. It really is.
It is. I love pho. It is delicious. And you know, and if you think all Asian food, that's all Chinese food. It's not actually. The ingredients that they use, the way they cook it, the different, all this kind of stuff.
I tell people you can taste the love in it. I was raised a little bit by Asian people, so I feel like I got a little bit of that in me at the root. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you can taste the love. I don't know where you got yours from, but I feel like the place I go, I don't know. I ain't never had nothing like that. Maybe some real good soul food from somebody granny. That's what it seemed like. Somebody granny made the broth.
Yeah, well, there's a couple places here now, especially in Milwaukee, that I go to, but this was in Minneapolis, and they have a very large Hmong community. So, oh man, it was dope. Um, John Fletcher says Sherman Phoenix is the start of that concept. It is. I don't know how involved we are in the ownership of it or the administration of it. I don't know. Kamar would be a better person to talk about that than myself. But that concept definitely is a dope concept of us, centralizing and saying, okay, more is better, right? Like, so let's put our businesses together and let's all work, and let's have a place that's a safe ground for us. Jason says, yo, man. He says, yo, man, we'll talk later. Jason, I was in Minneapolis briefly to see my daughter. I was actually staying in Bloomington because my son's visit was in St. Boniface. So if you wonder why the hell you didn't call me, that's why. I was on the move all day. And my in-laws, my parents, my wife's parents stay in Ramsey, and her sisters stay in Woodbury. So you see, we was all over. We were all over the place. So if you ask me, like, yo, why you ain't holler at me? It's because it was around the world in a day. He said, yes, there's Northern Vietnam. That is Northern Vietnamese. Did y'all see Precious done got her a white man and now she's pregnant with twins? What's Precious's real
you
name?
was gonna say something about that. I knew when I saw it. I was like, Kev gonna feel away about her bed wenching. She done found some love, Kev. Let her live. Have her babies. He treats her well. She feels love. Black men didn't want to give her that. Okay.
Well, listen, hold on. First of all, we call her Precious. Her name is Gabrielle Sidibe.
See, that's
right?
the first problem. Can't
right.
call her by her name.
Second of all, because I wanted to float it for the panel, for the brothers on the panel, because now see somebody with me, Courtney, and you kind of jumped ahead of me in that. Is she in fact what I would refer to as a bed wench? Well, hold on. I don't know her reasoning behind, her marrying this cat, right? And I've even seen in places where they saying this dude looks like he's gay, right? Like I haven't dived into it to that extent.
Damn.
My thing would be is our brothers giving Portia, I'm not Portia, Precious, the benefit of the
Her
doubt.
name Gabby. See,
Right, Gabby,
and
you
I
right.
bet you, I
Right.
bet you, black men word. I bet you they wasn't messing with her. Bet you they were still treating her just like she was basic and just fat and black and whack. You,
Well,
you
now
know,
was Precious showing up to where all the black celebrities be? Was she like in Miami at the club and Fat Joe and them was all there and she came in and they was like, "What up, Gabby?" Oh man,
I
they was like,
can't see her talking to like a rapper, but even when I think about black actors, if she was going to date another black man in Hollywood, I can't think of anyone I could even picture her with. Like, who, Terrence Howard? Who we like? I can't see none of them trying to holler at her.
"Well, hold on, like,
If,
so
in my
no
mind,
rapper." So would it be a bad look for a rapper to show up at an award show with Precious on his arm? Like, this is my date. Like, I don't want. I didn't want to. I didn't want to quantify her by calling her a bed wench, right? And because I don't know the individual, she might be like Kev. I just, this is who loves me, so I'm rocking with it. I don't care what his
that's
race
right.
is. Or she could feel like black men don't typically want to talk to me because to them, visually, I'm not attractive. To them, I'm not saying she's not attractive. To you know,
But what,
We
yeah,
keep
what do you
talking.
think her life was like before she got the money? And she was just regular, big back and black. How do you think dudes was treating her on the regular before she got famous? Black men. Tell
Well,
me.
I can't jump to conclusions because I'm a big back and black women have always treated me very well. I haven't.
I said treated her. How do you think black men was treating her? Let's say she was right here in Milwaukee, not famous yet. How you think they was treating
I'm
her?
pretty sure they
Probably
would.
would have been a stud here in Milwaukee.
Or they would have been using her for her money. You know how they do. They get a big girl, want to use her, have her pay for
Well, I get
everything.
where Court. I get. Hey, I get where Courtney going with this. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, if you a certain type, right? And like in the black community, it ain't popular to get that type.
But
You
there's some
dig what
brothers
I'm
out here
saying?
with her
So,
though.
so if that ain't popular, you know what I mean? She probably ain't getting much action from too many black people.
But it's there. Kamar, I see a lot of brothers all the time with females who look
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
her.
brothers
They
love big
do.
women, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They probably just wasn't popping off at her, and then you know what I mean. At the where she's in the movies and stuff too, so she ain't around the average brothers that probably
I
how.
would think at least Andre 3000 would mess with her. Like I would think
He
that they
messed
would
Why
with
be able.
Andre
Erica Badu,
3000?
man.
Why? What has Fluke got to do with this, man?
So
Because
he
you
know
wouldn't
her
have
from
said
Erica
this. You
Badu.
wouldn't have said this pre-Fluke, you Andre.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have dared say that.
Yeah, he know Erica Badu for
What does
Gabby.
Fluke
He
got
know
to
the
do
one
with
now.
this, man?
No, I just see them as a good couple, man. I feel
No,
like
you
they
don't.
You on
no, because
bullshit.
listen,
I
hear me
call
out.
bullshit.
Right. No, you don't. You see her as a good couple with that white man.
I call
Wait,
bullshit.
hold on. What I'm saying is, Kamar, come on, man. Let
Bullshit.
me like Ewok said. Let me defend myself. God damn it. Let me say what I gotta say. I feel like if people saw Andre 3000 and her show up at a red carpet event, they'd be like, I get it, because Andre is looked at as somebody who thinks outside the box, right? Now, his first baby mama is Erica Badu, which is a totally different kind of thing. But I'm saying there's a couple people in Hollywood that if you saw her with them, you say, okay, I can see that. I can see that. And once again, I'm not downing big girls because it's a lot of brothers in this city. I got family who swear by it. Like, cuz if
Yeah.
she ain't at least 225, she can't see me.
Straight
Like,
up.
so I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying Precious doesn't look like the American standard of beauty that we've been taught. And when I hear a lot of sisters now saying, well, let's go natural, accept us for who we are, and we put that picture up, even some of the big girls, it'd be some very attractive, pretty cute big girls. Nobody puts
Yeah.
Gabby up there and says, and her, and everybody go, yeah. People go, right. So shout out to Gabrielle, man. I'm glad she found love. I'm glad she's gonna get it. She lost a lot of weight. She's gonna get a chance to have her children. She's expecting twins,
That's
right?
right.
So that's dope. And once again, it's unfortunate that the way we see it is like, for all intents and purposes, we'll say she's not pretty. People say she's ugly. She's like, her name is like a joke. Like, people be like, man, I seen dude with this big precious looking ass broad, and like, ah! Like, people do it all the time, and it's unfortunate, man. We went through this with Lizzo.
But you know what? That ain't the people fault. I think that's the people who made the movie fault for putting that perspective out there.
That's true, because she was running with the chicken.
Because wasn't nobody thinking like that, wasn't nobody calling girls like her precious before that.
What was they calling them then? Like Nikki Parker? What was they saying?
I don't know what they called her, but
who was the poster child for fat chicks before her? Right?
Like, Monique, what was they saying?
Roseanne Barr? I don't know. That's just
they
not
said
funny.
somebody. We know they.
Why not? Wait a minute, Earl. Earl is going in. He says she's a thought.
Wait a minute.
Earl says she's a thought. He says she's attracted during tax. She's attractive during tax season for some brothers. She ain't made a movie in a long time. I don't know how long her paper is. Right? I don't know who's saving who over there.
I just saw her on something. I was watching Antebellum. It was a small role, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That got canceled.
That's kind of old. Yeah,
right, it got canceled. That's not been around for a long time. Earl Henning says she's a buffalo, a buffalo and a gorilla mix. Damn.
Yeah.
That's why she got a white man.
Damn.
She just found love.
See, this is why she got a white man, because this white. You see why now, Kev. You see.
Man, the poor lady just found love, and she become the topic of ridicule because she happy.
That says she like who likes her. That's what I'm saying. Listen, there's absolutely somebody for everybody, right? And this is why if you are out there and you thinking like, I can't find anyone, nobody loves me. It's absolutely somebody out there for you. Have you ever seen two really ugly people together and they was totally happy? Yeah, they both was like, well, I found somebody who loved me, and it's like, that's love. Like, we both ugly, it's cool, but we together, we found somebody who loves us. And I'm using that word ugly really subjectively, and really I should say objectively, because ugly is as ugly does, because what's one man's trash is another man's treasure. Because there might be some brothers who be like, man, Gabby fine, man, I love that woman, that's a whole lot of woman, I love that dog. And some brothers be like, ugh. But and that wasn't a sound effect. That was actually me, right? That was impressive. I like that. He said, Jeff says y'all ruthless. It's not me. It's Earl. It's Earl Henning this time. He said she looked like a gorilla and a buffalo mixed together. That is Have you ever seen the BW3 commercial? With the with the big buffalo in the bar talking to people about football. That came to mind when he said that. I'm sorry. Shout out to Gabby, man.
You didn't have to do that, man.
I did, man. I did. He said buffalo, Kamar. He said buffalo. He said buffalo. It wasn't me.
Reference BW3's Buffalo Wild Wings.
Right, man. I mean, like I said, I'm a big
back myself. About a big girl, and you mentioning a restaurant and shit. Like, it's a whole bunch of layers to that, man.
No, see, now you adding your own sauce to it, but you making it seem like it's me, right? Because he made the connection between wings and big girls. See how black people live. It was Kev, man. He once said BW3s. Yeah, man. Black people, man, y'all rough, man. Listen, I'm in no way, because I'm a big dude, right? Like I've never been a small cat, so I always felt like I've worn it well. I mean, once again, I've never had a problem with women, with black women, like, or I've never had the problem. So, but I definitely know some women out there who look at me and say he too big for me or whatever. I'm not going on no diet for them. If, when I need to lose something for my blood pressure's sake, I have to do that. But I'm not gonna say, man, let me go get surgery so I can get this girl. That ain't gonna never happen. So I'm sure, and I'm hoping that Gabrielle Sidibe, looks at it that way. Like it is what it is. Either you love me or you leave me alone. Like Lizzo, love me or leave me alone. But and Rel, I know you one who like a bigger girl. You like big women, so
I love women.
okay, not just big girls. Okay, my bad.
I
Sure,
love
by
black
this time,
women,
she done
every
got it.
shade, shape, and size. You know what I'm saying?
So would you rock with Gabby? Would you kick it with her? Would you be out and about with her? Just like, yeah, this is my
I
lady.
don't.
I know you got a lady, but I'm saying
Did you just call her Cabby?
Gabby.
I don't know how she is. All I know is her physical appearance. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how she is. So I mean, but I mean, yeah, I wouldn't have no problem. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be worried about, like, I've never been worried about what other people think about the woman I'm with, because they opinion don't matter.
I ain't talking about what they think. I'm saying if you met her, she's a nice girl, y'all kicked her
Oh
right
yeah,
through the
yeah, shit.
conversation.
We
Would
kick
you be
it.
happy with her if she came out in the lingerie like, hey baby? You'd be like, oh, you so sexy.
Shit, yeah. If I'm fucking with her, yes.
Wow. Okay. That's big of you. No pun intended.
Look,
You know,
Kamar,
this dude.
I'm on fire tonight. I am on fire tonight. You hear me?
I mean, shit, that might be a wild sight to see me.
Yeah. Like,
But you know what I'm saying? But hey, shit, I've been big. I'm a big dude, and it's a fun ass experience with big women. It sounds like there's 1,000 people in the room giving you a round of applause. So it's fun as fuck. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Lord have mercy.
They really don't be clapping like that.
Right. Throw my stomach on her back and get the work. It be clapping like a motherfucker. I love women. Shit.
That's real in this girlfriend in the room. No. Kamar, would you rock Gabby if she said she was nice and she said, Kamar, I want you to help me on my journey and I want to become vegan, but I just want to be your lady. Would you rock with her? Would you be like, would you, do your thing?
Well, I'm involved with somebody.
Well, so. No. I know this. I know. I'm saying if you were single, brother. Don't try to get out of this shit. I'm seeing someone.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I would tell her is I will definitely help you on your journey, but we got to get to know each other.
Okay, and you got to know her. She was cool people, right? And y'all was rocking.
I mean, who knows? It may rock. You know what I mean? It may fit.
So you wouldn't mind pulling up in the hood with her in the whip? Hey, fellas, how y'all doing?
I wouldn't be looking for. I wouldn't be the dude to go holler at her. You know what I mean? That is my type.
Wait a minute.
I can keep it real like that. You know.
You can.
And that's what I just did. I said I wouldn't go looking for that type.
No, I'm saying you single. She come at you. Everything you pull up, you wouldn't mind pulling up in the hood with her in the whip, saying, "Hey, fellas, I want y'all to meet my lady Gabby." You be cool.
Yeah, if it fit, I'll be cool, totally cool with it. Okay. As long as it fit.
I wouldn't.
You missed it, kid.
He committed fully.
You missed it.
Oh my God. Kamar, you trying to keep up with me? I'm gonna run off and leave you. Your puns is off. Fully.
I'm trying, man. It ain't working, man. I'm trying.
No, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it.
I ain't good at this.
I wouldn't. It's not my flavor. It's not my type, and I feel no pressure to do it just because people say, "Well, Kev, you're shallow" or whatever. Because, like I stated, I'm sure that there are women who would say he's not my. When they look at me and say he's not my type, and they deserve that right. It's not like I ain't never been turned down before. So everybody, like Liz Brown used to say, everything ain't for everybody.
Well, I mean, I didn't talk to a big girl before.
But did she look like Gabby?
What's wrong with Gabby?
To me, Gabby's not attractive. I'm gonna be honest. She's not attractive to me. I couldn't be with her because it would bother me.
Hey, now what if she got all the way fit?
It ain't about her size though.
Do you think? But you don't know what she would look like then, though, either.
Yeah, but if it was a fifth, right? If my auntie
she
had,
might be the shit. Hey, she might be the shit. If you know what I mean. If she got it all the way right.
I don't got that much time. I'm an old man. By the time you lose the weight, I'm 70. I'm dead. Damn, baby, you fine. I'm gone. I don't have that much time, man. Hey, Kamar, I don't have that much time to wait. Wait. I told you, man. I really do this shit for real. Is JoJo watching? I haven't seen him. I didn't see him. I can't. I don't see my Facebook feed. Let me share. Y'all share the show. I forgot to share the show. Share the show, man. We are in so many groups. I see people are already out there sharing it. So yeah, share the show, man. Let me put it in some of our groups because once again we have reach, and I'm starting to realize that better. As every time we do a show, I see at least two people who haven't been here before or who haven't listened to the show before. And I always welcome that, and I also welcome feedback. So if you watch the show and you say, this would be a great addition. Sometimes I might be like, well, you don't know what you're talking about or something like that, or we ain't doing that shit, or get your ass up out of here. But that don't mean I don't welcome the feedback, man. So, let us know what you think, man. Let us know if you know somebody positive or progressive who should be on the show, because we've spoken and conversed with so many people. And that's what I'm saying. I guess I underestimated the whole reach of the show because it's been 10 years and it's been consistent. So I can't remember everything, but most definitely it's about us, man. This show is about us. This is about what's going on with foundational Black Americans. So I want everybody to be involved. Earl Henning said, you can go to People's Lounge and get you one. He's talking about, Precious. That is fucked up too. Like, I don't know what kind of indictment that is on the People's Lounge. Like, is that what it's known for? Jeff Crape said we're warming the bus up to hell. Well, let's just go forward, then, and talk about rest in peace to actor Michael K. Williams, who I always thought was a great actor, right? Like I loved his movies, but I did always notice most of the roles he played, there was some homosexual activity. And I used to be like on The Wire. First of all, I don't know how many of y'all out there actually watched The Wire, have watched every season of The Wire and understand the whole story from the beginning to the end, but I was a tremendous fan of The Wire, and I still think The Wire is one of the best. When they talk about these hood shows, and The Wire was the bomb. Like it was a great show. And he was Omar, who was the neighborhood terrorist, but he was gay. He was a homo thug. And there was gay activity in the show. Man on man kisses and stuff like that. And men expressing intimate feelings towards each other. And every time I go, oh no, oh hell no, either I'm muting or I'm clicking away real quick. And then he did some other movies. I can't remember the cop, the buddy flick he had with the white dude. He was gay on there. And so it comes out now that when he was in these roles, part of his desire was to go harder. Like they would say, Michael, we don't know how comfortable you are with this or that, and he'd say, "No, let's go all out. Let's really do it. Let's really, put it out there." So, and I don't want to disrespect the dead, but I'm just saying, because I said that this was one of my issues. Like, I know he had some issues with drugs, right? And so I'm thinking, was part of the issue about him? Maybe he did, or maybe he didn't know whether he was gay or whether he wasn't, or did he feel pressure? Did he feel alienated because he would take these roles? What did it contribute to his mental state when he? And I know they say he just bought some fentanyl, but I mean, we're talking about he had a serious drug problem. I don't know. What did y'all see this? Because I put it in the People's News Network.
I seen that.
Okay. Yeah, I seen it.
I was wondering why would they be talking about it now? Like, I wonder how come it wasn't an issue when he was alive. You know what I mean? Especially if that's what he was on.
Ironically, Kamar, nobody ever really spoke about it when he was alive. I used to be the only one saying, why is this dude always playing gay roles? But he's not portraying himself. I never heard him talk about his sexuality at all. And I'm sure there's interviews where he elaborates on it, but I never heard them. So I would always be like, man, dude is a great actor, but why he always got to be gay in every movie, everything he does? Was that his way of telling us he was gay?
Maybe that was the niche. Like maybe because other actors may have been a little reluctant to take that role.
Okay.
Maybe he was the most qualified actor that was willing to play that role type shit.
You know what? And like I say,
typecasted and just typecasted himself, maybe.
I thought you said pipe casted. My bad.
Whoa, that'd have been a good one.
Pipe casted.
That'd have been a good one.
I know, man. That's funny. That was funny.
No, that not for him though. For somebody else alive. Not for him.
No, and these weren't just alluding to maybe that he's gay or there was an insinuation. This was hardcore because I remember, I can't remember the name of the show. Tyler and Hap and Leonard, I think the name of it was, which was a pretty good show. But there was a scene in there where it got really like, I was like, whoa, shit. I had to turn the TV. Like it got, what's the name of that? What's the name of the show about the Valley? It ain't Happy Valley. What's the name of the show with the gay strippers? P Valley. It got like that, right? And not that I've seen that, but it got egregious. It got crazy. And so I was just thinking at the time, like, is this an act or is he I guess so here's the deal, because this comes on the cusp of this whole thing with Puffy. And is it ever gonna stop with Puffy? Like,
we got a long list.
Goodness gracious. And then other people are
pissed off.
Well, apparently when Cassie got that settlement that quickly, it set a precedent.
I mean, like you know how they Kanye pissed motherfuckers off and just with the shit. You know,
who in the Illuminati? Who in the
Did
Illuminati?
he say something? Did he say something wrong? You know what I mean? Somewhere.
Yeah.
Because everything coming out, they just letting the cat out the bag.
No pun intended. Letting the cat out the bag. But no, like, and then he's implicating other celebrities. Like Meek Mill is in question, Stevie J, and they said that.
Oh, you know, Stevie J. Yeah, him and Puffy go way back.
Yeah, but they've come out and said, and this individual said, I guess this is me reading media takeout. I told y'all I live in the Podverse. So there's a homosexual porn star who said that's not Stevie J, that's one of my movies. And Stevie J is like, dude, never. That's never me or whatever. But then you got Meek Mill, like, so there's accusations there. And then you got former artists coming out saying, I seen him do this, I seen him do that. And it's like, damn, Puffy. Really? You was just wilding with this shit, man, right?
He was wilding. He had that money. They was trying to get close to that money, so wasn't nobody saying shit.
Is Puff the next R. Kelly? Is he gonna be sitting in there with Robert?
Possibly.
Come on, man. That would be such a disappointment for me because of what Bad Boy Records meant to 90s hip hop, right?
Well, I mean, the music,
right,
was dope. The people who made the music, dope. You know what I mean? Like the motherfucker who owned the company, like a lot of the time, the owner be fucked up. A lot of these name brands we wear, the owner is fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
This is true. I mean, you look at Epstein. Epstein was a powerful dude. He's a money guy.
Fucked up.
Right. But he was a prevert, as they say. A pedophile, as they call him. Let me see. John Fletcher, he says The Wire Facts from Classic. The Facts fam, he said Classic. Never will be a show like it. The Wire was dope, man. The Wire was a very good show. And
I didn't like how it ended.
It was crazy how it ended. I will give you that.
Like I wanted Marlo to die. I know that sound fucked up and shit.
So you've watched it, because if you watched it, you get personally connected to a lot of the characters.
I jumped on The Wire like I think like third season with the youngin' ones, you know. So like
yeah.
You know, but from that point and just seeing how it all played out, you know, I was like, dog, I wanted Marlo to get took out. I wanted Snoop and the other cat, Chris, to do their own thing and Marlo get took out.
But if you watch the show, the point was Marlo got himself connected with political allies.
Right.
He donated money to the right people, and he was given. And remember, he went to this kind of fancy affair at the end on one of the last shows, and he started realizing, like, I'm a fish out of water. And he actually went to the hood and messed with a dude and made him shoot him. because he was like, I got to get back into my environment. So they were making a lot of points with that show, but it was a dope show, man. I love The Wire, man. Everything except for Omar being gay, I was cool with on the show. It was like, okay, I know my wife and a lot of women were upset when Idris Elba got killed, because I thought his character was a great character up to that point too, until you realize what he had actually done in setting up the brother's nephew, and he had kind of just sold his soul, trying to do things that he thought was right. So Stringer, that was his name. So, but it was a good show. It was a good show. If you ever get a chance to watch it, and it get a little weird, I think in season 2 when they show the workers at the dock, but that explains the corruption on a whole other level, because this is where the heroin is coming into Baltimore at. So you got to go watch it. Let me see. Jeff Crape said, I think it's just pushing the narrative. You thought The Wire was pushing the narrative? Jeff said, now we know it, always got to go back to what Cat Williams said. He said they said a lot of black folks around here doing that in white Wisconsin. I don't know, Earl. What are we talking about? The homosexual thing? And even check this out. You see in Ghana, because now Ghana was inviting black people back, right? They were saying, was it Ghana? Was that the country where they were saying, "Come on home and we'll set you"? Now you see that they've passed anti-homosexual legislation now. Like they're making it illegal to be gay. So now
a lot of them countries in Africa like that,
right? And they're saying that they're bracing now because the United States, the United States, they're going to hit them with sanctions and expel them from the United Nations and this kind of thing, which I think is bullshit, because you shouldn't be allowed to tell a country how to govern its people as long as they're not murdering or exploiting the people. Right. And it's a shock to your system that they're saying this, but this is their country. I don't think the United States gives Africa enough support anyways. So it's not surprising to me that they would want to hurry up and jump on with sanctions against Ghana, because one thing I would say about that is good luck, Ghana, because you never know who's gay, and what you'll create is just a lot of undercover gay dudes. And so what you'll run into is the down low problem. That's what we ran into in America, where people were saying it wasn't cool to be gay, and a lot of brothers wouldn't admit that that's what they was. But guess what? They ended up passing it, transmitting AIDS, because they were undercover and they weren't honest and open. So good luck. Go ahead, Kamar.
No, I was just gonna say, in a sense, I mean, I feel like what you're saying is right. But then also, I feel like it's going to be a lot of countries that's going to side with them in Africa.
Right. Okay.
See, they think different about that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They think a lot different, and there's a lot more people that's going to stand with that cause. They're going to stand with traditional beliefs.
You know what? There's a lot of staunch Christian nations in Africa. Like Christianity, you see, we talked about some of the stuff they're doing in the churches. We like, whoa, African churches go hard. And so they're and this is with Ghana. They're saying we are really serious about Christianity, and according to our Bible, it says homosexuality is an abomination.
Yeah, according to our Bibles.
Well, right. And so a lot of those nations, you're correct, are going to stand with them and say, yo, no, we ain't with that shit either. Like, listen, I feel like this. If people want to be gay, I feel like they got the right to be gay. I don't think you should lose any rights or be treated like you're, less than a human because you're gay. The only thing that I ever say about gay people is, as much as I respect your right to be gay, you have to respect my right to be heterosexual, right? You can't turn around and villainize me because I'm not gay, which we see that a lot. Like they call us homophobic, right? I don't know who hates who more. I don't know if straight people hate gay people more, if gay people hate us more. Because I've heard gay people with some strong opinions on heterosexual males. This is why we have this rise in lesbianism, and I think also just to make sure that everybody out there believes I'm a total asshole, I believe a great majority of homosexual people are experimenting. I know that there are some who are staunch. I know that there are some who are like, nah, I was born this way. This is who I am. This is how I feel. But I think there are people who experiment with it. And that kind of convolutes it because you never know. You never know who's true to it, right? Like, it's like, man, why did he put that on there? Like, so it becomes weird for me. Like, two men or two women get together knowing that you can't reproduce, and then the first thing they do is say, let's adopt a child. I'm confused by that. Well,
hey, look, and if they had their way at some point, they won't even be able to adopt children.
right. Well, that's there's it's
If they
still a lot
had
of
their way, I'm saying.
yeah, you're right. I'm agreeing with you. I think there's still a lot of people who are trying to get that back, trying
Right.
to put that back underground. I think Obama gave them, like I said, he moved them ahead of us in line in terms of, really achieving some sort of empowerment and equality. It's so many people who are homosexual in high places here in America. You really got to be careful. That's why as soon as you say anything that they could, we had the situation with the trans person on here that time, and she was what? Wait, they were he was angry at us, and it was like he wasn't trying to hear nothing we was saying. He was going in, he dissed all of us. Right? He dissed Courtney, and I'm like, wait a minute, you dissing a real woman, and you are not a woman. It was weird. It was weird. I'm sorry, it was weird. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm not homophobic. Like I said, if you're gay, who cares? Like, it's not my business. If it when it starts to become more personal, like, okay, would you want your son to be gay? No. Would you want your daughter to be gay? No. Would you want to be friends with a gay person? And I say no, then people get upset. Well, why, Kevin? That is homophobia. It's actually not, right? I don't want to be friends with a gay person. I don't want to be friends with a weird person. We say eccentric. I don't want to be friends with you. I don't want to, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, real. You a little weird, but you hood weird. You on a different vibe as a brother. You're not like weird like that. Or I'd be like, yo, come on, I've been by the brother house. He's strange. You know what I'm saying? Because we all got our quirks. But I reserve the right to choose my friends and who I want to socialize with. I guess that's what I'm saying. And so, I wouldn't, if one of the homies came to me and said, Kev, for a long time I had these feelings, bro. It's like, I'm cool. I'm good. Because our vibe is now thrown off because I'm not in that community. So it would be kind of weird. That's all I'm saying. Earl Henning says black people is the reason America don't care about Africa. Ooh, man, how much? Let's talk about that. Is it us? Because our connection to Africa is minimal. They made sure of that. We don't even know where we even. It's asinine for me to send my spit or my DNA to Ancestry.com. And they've been bought out. We delivered this news. They have been purchased by a larger organization. I think it's called Blackstone. Who knows what they're doing with that DNA? Who knows what they're doing with that DNA, man? It's probably in frogs, dogs, cats, bats, rats, right?
Dogs, mogs.
Right. So I wouldn't send for them to tell me, like, hey, master, can you tell me where I come from? So we don't know. I can't directly call. I can't even look at my face in the mirror and identify with a tribe in Africa, because when I look in the mirror, I see other cultures and other races that have along the years and we didn't cross paths with, and like I said, touched and agreed. And so most of us don't have native African features. Look at your face in the mirror sometimes and say, do I have any European features? Cheekbones, nose, forehead. A lot of us got the lips, but that's where it start and stop at, right? But look at yourself and then ask yourself, okay, and it's cool for people to say, I want to investigate my connection to Africa, because I've seen a lot of people do that. Shout out to Tasha James. She was just there and she's been on Facebook, or maybe she's still there. I don't know, Kamar. Is she still there or what?
Yeah.
But she's talking about her connection.
Maybe on her way back.
Okay. she's talking about the validity of her connection and how she feels. I guess it's just a different feeling to be over there and to see it. I had a cousin, rest in peace, to my cousin Mattel. She talked about just going to Africa and seeing us and saying it's a whole different thing. Like, you can't comprehend it unless you do it. At this point, I don't have any desire to do it, but I respect somebody to do it. Kamar, would you ever want to go back or just visit over there?
I definitely want to go visit. I want to go
Okay.
visit a few spots out there.
Okay. What about you, Real? You think you dig it over there?
Oh yeah, man. I definitely want to get to Nigeria. I know some people from there.
Okay.
And they just tell you like how many like rich black folks is over there. Like that.
Right.
Yeah. I got a homie from Nigeria and his family from there. They out there just like that with them rich black folks you talking about.
Right, yeah, man. So I definitely want to go out there and connect with some of them. Shit, advertise my book, my product, see what we just like the brother that was on here saying, like, connect with African plugs and shit so that we could do business. My lady is seamstress, so I would love to have, straight off the boat African fabrics and shit to start doing my line of smokers jackets.
Okay. And then we could connect with them and they could say, "Welcome to Outlaw Radio."
Hey, I met a brother at the remember that event where I won these awards at, right?
Uh-huh.
I met a brother who's working with some other black people and they building an airport in Ghana.
I guess that's something else I wanted to touch on, because what we see now in my research from, different places shows that there's a lot of heavy scamming being done by Africans, right? Even, not that this has anything to do with the price of tea in China, but the sister Portia Williams on the Housewives of Atlanta with the African dude, and find out that he's been a scam artist and changed his name and actually been kicked out of the country. And so those are all allegations too. I don't know that, but so they have the reputation, because I get it in my inbox all the time. They hack people's pages and you think, oh, this so-and-so and so, they reaching out to me. And then, hello, Kevin, how do you do today? And it's like, how do you know me? Oh, you know how I know you. You are my friend. We don't talk like that in America. So I was watching Vice and they follow some Africans who participate in scamming people, like single people, out of their money, catfishing people. Like, there's a lot of that. A lot of that's coming out of Africa. And so, people say you shouldn't be mad, Kev, that Africa is getting some get back to America, right?
Hey, well, shit, Kev, niggas is doing that here. Niggas scamming here too at an alarming rate. I mean, it's just everywhere. Scamming is just one of the hustles that go on around the world. Really?
This is the truth. I'm not okay. I'm touche, right? I get it. I'm just saying, I wish they would stop inboxing me acting like they're my mother's best friend.
Hey, and they do. They send you a friend request and shit. Right. Then they be telling you, send them a sacrifice, and you win a lot of money.
All kinds of shit. All kinds of shit. Like, I have 50,000 American dollars, but I cannot use it here in Africa. If you send me 10,000, I will send you the 50. Really? Right. Come on, son. That will never fly. Jeff Crape said, the hood is global. It's a global economy now for sure. Earl said, I didn't want my son to be gay, and I don't want him to be it, but I love him, and it will always be family for life. Yeah, I mean, well, if your son says he's gay, then what do? I can't say I stopped loving you, but I just say, damn, son, this is not what I had planned for you, because I really wanted a grandchild.
Fuck.
Right. Who touched you? No, I'm just kidding. I'm investigating everybody in my family. Earl Henny said, KB, you know some of my family. I absolutely do. Larry was one of the men in my community. Big Larry was one of the men in my community that we knew to be a real man, right? And Larry, in our J&J's years, Larry worked the door. And even though we would complain about some of his policies, I think Larry kept us safe in a lot of regards. I think he made sure that riffraff didn't really come in and no harm was. And I've seen times where we had to get Larry's back against some people, and And Montreal, who was his son. Rest in peace to him and Larry. Montreal was my first best friend at Phillips School. We met in second grade, and that was my guy like forever. And shout out to Fat Man, who was also a hood fixture, one of the big homies, and rest in peace to Fat Man too. So yes, I do know some of your family, Earl. And those three individuals right there is like, and their mom, who, man, take Montreal and myself to the mall with her, and it was a man. Once again, I had this great childhood in our over there in our neighborhood, and Montreal was part of it, and Larry was part of it, and Fat Man was part of it. So yeah, man, I definitely know your family. Much love to them brothers. Rest in peace. Um, Let me see what we got. We talked about Big Gabby getting her baby.
Big Gabby, he called her Big Gabby.
Big Gabby having a baby, right? Oh, Big Gabby. Man, that man put some work in. That man went underneath. He went, man, not just me, right? He was doing God's work. Vince said our culture scams for pennies. Our culture scams for pennies. We primarily scam each other, while other cultures scam billions off of our culture. Yeah, some of them boys over there getting some money though, Vince. Some of them boys over there in Africa getting some paper. And I don't know if you're talking about just here in the United States, but it's some brothers here scamming, getting paper, right? Like this credit card thing and all this, and the criminals get smarter as technology develops, right? And so, if you look all the way back to those days of, Dillinger and these cats, Bonnie and Clyde. Well, what they depended on at first was technological advances in weaponry, right? Because the average law enforcement didn't have a semi-automatic or a fully automatic machine gun. And the cars that they drove, they talk about it being the Ford, the V8 engines, which were new. And so these little places where these banks were couldn't capture them. But eventually technology caught up. You see how that ended for all of them. But they at one point they were ahead of the curve. So, I don't want to take their, say our people just petty criminals. In some cases, we're the mitigating factors, as they say. I know they do a lot of railroadness. I know they put a lot of us on blast and make it seem like we are, the scourge or the scourge of the earth and all this kind of stuff. But that's why you always hear me say, behind every great fortune is a great crime, and behind every great crime is an old white man. It's mostly true. They say, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, right? If you say, oh, but you look at these crack dealers, and yeah, but who's behind that, right? It comes down to a white guy by the name of Ronald Reagan and a bunch of other old white dudes who said, hey, man, let's figure this out. Let's make something happen. Let's do something. And it happened. And it happened on our backs. So, tell me about a great crime that is not a white person behind. And I would say, oh, I didn't know that. But, if you shop at Family Dollar, be careful, because Family Dollar is facing a $34 million lawsuit. Let me make sure, because it might be more. I'm sorry, $41.7 million, because their warehouse in Tennessee was rat infested. And when they say rat infested, they mean like extreme. And so if this is where the products that you get eventually at Family Dollar come from, be careful, right? You inspect anything you buy from them. Make sure there's no food is not corrupted, and make sure that it's not, some sort of, you buy a box of something and you take it. Oh, but I got all this toilet paper for $50, and it's about 5 of them joikers sitting in the bottom of them. Like, yeah, you take this tissue out. It's we finally made it up north. So be careful. Kamar, what you got coming up this weekend, my brother?
This weekend, House of Vitality. Make sure y'all down there. Come down there and get your sea moss. Come down there and get your elderberry. Get your ginger shots. Get your cleanses. Man, y'all better come on down.
Yeah, I got it tomorrow. I'm gonna hit you up in the afternoon because I need my apple juice. So
all right. Catch me early, man. Catch me early.
Early might be bad because I'll be at the plantation, and tomorrow I really got a full day where I got to be early, and but I'm I'm gonna put my order in, so we'll see.
All right.
If we can make it
Yeah,
happen.
just let me know and I'll put them up for you.
Yep. I'm surely gonna do that. Real, you got my wine ready? What we doing here?
You know what? I actually just brewed up 4 of them last night, so they'll be ready in a couple weeks. I got a white grape going. I was told that I should keep the apple cinnamon and the ginger cranberry going all year round, so I got those back going, and then I got a grapefruit one going. So yeah, I should be ready in a couple weeks for you.
I told y'all I was in Minneapolis, and recreational usage of marijuana is legal over there. But
Yeah.
what they don't tell you is the process is not done because they are not actively allowed at this point to sell the flower, right? And so what you get is you have stores. It's basically just like Milwaukee in that you can go in plenty places here and buy Delta 9, Delta 8, I think it's called,
Mm-hmm.
THCA or whatever like that. Or so I was over there, so I wanted to go see because I've never been in the weed store before. What they call them? Depository? What they call them?
Dispensary.
My uncle said you got to go to Red Rock in Minnesota.
Okay. I was in many. And so my daughter was saying, like, Dad, no, nobody really sells that like that. Like, so I said, let me try this THC one. What is it, real? THC 1A or something like that? Or
There is a THCA that supposedly THCA is just regular weed.
okay.
And so that's real weed. That's THCL. THCA is Delta 9 THC, which is regular weed or weed that get you high. But when you heat up weed, you decarboxylate it, which makes it drop that A, which is an acid. So then it just becomes regular THC. So that's how they kind of get around that.
I have some gummies because I was in the hotel. I didn't really want to, because I need sleep. I'm one of those people who doesn't sleep, right? Like, so, and I remember taking the real hardcore gummies here and the effects that they had on me versus this. And I can tell people it was a smoothing, kind of like it was really smooth. It was really mellow. I was really hungry, but I wasn't blown.
Hey, we got to take a ride down to Chicago and go
There
to
we
a
go.
local bakery.
There we go.
That's what we got to do, man. Y'all gonna love this.
Yeah. I would just, you know what?
Hey, look, if one of y'all drive, I'll buy.
Well, I want to come back home though. I don't want to stay over there with it. Like I want to get it and come back home.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
You ain't said nothing but a word because I get a free weekend. I'm fucking around, be calling like, come on, what's happening, man?
Yeah.
I heard it is really expensive, but I know. Shout out to Westside Zeladon. He came back from California, and he had this Be Real from Cypress Hill. It was crazy. I was like, dude, for real? Nobody smokes this regularly. He was like, nah, this what in Cali.
Hey,
this
Wake and Bakery got edibles and drinks.
I don't like edibles.
Dog, I normally didn't either, but these is way different.
Okay,
it's way better.
Okay.
Remember, Kev? We was together before, and it was. This is a completely different, a whole completely different.
House. Yeah, because you did bring me. Yeah, okay. I don't want to give our whole criminal, enterprise, but I forgot. Yeah, we know about the edibles, man, on Outlaw Radio for sure. Ewok, you calling back late now? What you cussing me out about now? What I do? What I do?
I ain't cussing you about nothing, man.
Okay.
I wanted to say something to K Bull, man. Okay. I don't call him K Bull too much on the show, but that's what I call it because he's from my block and shit. So I wanted to tell K Bull to remind him of our past a little taste of our history. Every day is the same old thing on our block. You're either working or you're slanging cocaine on our block. You had to hustle because that's how we was raised on our block. See? I wanted to say that and just get off the phone. Now you can say what I said was asinine or whatever later, motherfucker. All right, I love you.
Even look, he He even actually used one of my words, asinine. I use that word all the time. It's one of my favorite words.
Ewok is feeling great tonight.
I mean, Ewok feels no pain right now, right?
Ewok is feeling great
no
tonight.
pain, right? I'm glad he was able to trip out off of Outlaw Radio. But check this out, man. I guess the whole point of this is just for you all to know that if you are interested in what's really going on in Milwaukee, if you want the real story to be told, and you want to start shining light on the issues that Milwaukee has. Milwaukee, the reality of the situation is we have a problem with violent crime. We have a problem with poverty. We have a problem with infant mortality rates. We have a problem with our school system. We have a problem with public service. We have a problem even with our spiritual community. And when I say spiritual, I'm saying that to encompass religious organizations and their connection to the neighborhood. We have issues with this. So to talk around it or to water it down or to not say certain things because you are paid not to or you're being compensated not to, that does a disservice to the people. It absolutely does. You know what? I think that what we have to do is start letting those powers that be know we've had enough of the bullshit. Milwaukee is ready to receive the real, man. They are. And it's a shame that we have outlets here who allow the Democrats and the Republicans to sway us, to get into our ears, to pander to us for votes. And a lot of times they get paid from them and we get nothing, right? They say fair exchange ain't no robbery. Well, in this case, it is, because you got a bunch of disillusioned people who live in a place where the voter turnout is not even high. And you're going to take that small number of voters and, you know, like Ewok said, play in their face by creating special interest groups and lobbyists that can come in and buy our votes. I think Milwaukee needs to hear, Black Milwaukee needs to hear both sides of the coin, no matter what it is. And if I can point to anything that's unique about Outlaw Radio, there is a component that's connected to the streets. There is a component that's connected to the quote unquote conscious community. There's a component that is connected to educated, upwardly mobile Black people in the city, intellectuals, the militants, the even the Islam community. Who, when I say Islam, I talk about the Nation of Islam because I'm such a supporter and admirer of Minister Louis Farrakhan. So even in that regard, all points get covered on Outlaw Radio. And I think that that is the greatest part about it. So I want to thank y'all for being a part of it, but support us in our new direction, because you're going to start to see more collaboration. I'm committing myself to that. And when I say collaboration, I mean amongst this family that we've all of a sudden been placed here together at the same time, both sides of it. Like, you know, I was saying Kamar's people and my people because Kamar has a bunch of people that love and support him. I also have a bunch of people that love and support me. Rail, you're on both sides, so I don't have to say Rail is like, you can vibe with either side, right? Rail could go over there with a dashiki and eat a vegan dish and come over here and listen to Pimp C and blow one, right?
Right.
And so could Kamar, right? At the same time, right? So it's a beautiful thing. But I just want us to understand how much power we actually have when we do us. When we do us, man. It can be, and I'm not the first Black person to say it, and I'm not gonna say I'm such, oh, what a visionary. He's saying something so profound. We should do us. There's so much potential there. Solidarity is the way to go, man. And I want to make sure that before it's all said and done, that's what we do with Outlaw Radio, is put it all together and make sure that the powers that be feel us, because it's time for a new regime. That's real. It's time for a new power group. It's time for us to establish, like my cousin said, let's get our own politicians and buy them off. Instead of us complaining about the game, let's play it. Let's get us. Where are the Black lobbyists at? Where are the Black special interest groups at? Controlled by some white ones or working with some white ones without even a desire to say, we should be doing this for us, right? That's what we got to do. So, once again, shout out to y'all in the chat room. Jeff said, love the KB, go Polar. So happy for you. He's talking about my son. The school he signed with is the Polars. You know, I'm happy for my son. I hope he understands the level. I hope he understands the size of the blessing. I hope he understands the moment in saying, I got an opportunity to advance in something I love to do. Everybody, a lot of people love sports, but a lot of people don't get to play on the next level, right? And so you go through your life and you go to high school, you play this sport, and then time to go get a job or something. It's truly a blessing for somebody to offer you an opportunity to continue playing that on a higher level or participating in that activity, and you being able to work on your craft and make yourself better and get better and better and see what, limits you can push yourself to. So I'm very, very proud of my son for that regard. And he worked very hard. I can't take anything away from him. He has a tremendous heart. Sometimes he's a little emotional. I'm still trying to work on that, right? He's a kid who puts his heart in it, so he gets a little emotional sometimes. But God bless me tremendously. Y'all got to understand, man. Erica, what up? You late? We about to cut the machine off, Erica. But shout out to you and the Tax Pros. I make sure that I place your all your stuff in the People's News Network. Shout out to EPU Personal Defense. Y'all go to that website, EPUSDS.com, and get the EPU system. Check it out. It's dope. We're gonna get Fletch back on here. Jason says you have to be a man of many hats to get your point across, family. Yeah, man. You got to wear a lot of hats a lot of times to do a lot of things. Just make sure, man, your criticism of the community don't outweigh your contribution. Because if it do, you might be getting ready to marry Gabrielle Sidibe. Peace and love, man. Outlaws for life, man. I rocks with y'all. Shout out to Precious, man.